This is the second part of sample paper 3, functional skills level 1 from City and Guilds. You can use a calculator for this part, and there is a total of 45 marks for this paper. Question number 1. What is 10% of £68.50? So to work out 10%, you divide the amount by 10. So that means moving decimal one place to the left to make this number smaller, this amount smaller. So if I move this one space to the left, decimal point will go in between 6 and 8, so 6.85. So that is £6.85. Looking at the second question, we've got a boat is sailing north. As you can see in the picture, it turns 100 degrees in an anti-clockwise direction. So we've got to pick the options. Which one of the following shows the direction in which the boat is now sailing? So it says anti-clockwise direction, which means it's going this way. So automatically it will not be option C or D. It will be either A or B. Now we could measure these angles with the protractor and find out which one is equal to 100 degrees, but that's not even needed because we know that a right angle will be 90 degrees. This is less than 90 degrees, A. B will be more than 90 degrees, which suggests that it is 100 degrees. So B is the right option. I'll remove these lines just to avoid any confusion. Third question is asking, a sea diver makes 7 different dives. He measures how deep he dives. This table shows his results. Dive number, and we've got the depth as well. What was the variation in depth for the 7 dives? So variation is about the range, really. How do these depths vary? So we're looking at the lowest value, and that is negative 32, and the highest is negative 7. So the difference between them, 32 take away 7 gives us 25, and that is the range, that is the variation. You could even draw a number line if you're unsure about this, and that's the number of spaces or the number of jumps from negative 7 to negative 32, or the opposite, going from negative 32 to negative 7, whichever way you want. So 25 is the answer, not negative 25, just 25. What's the interest paid on £2,500 at an interest rate of 15%? So in other words, we're just looking to find 15% of 2,500. So we'll find 10% first, and that is dividing 2,500 by 10. 2,500 ends with a 0, so we're just going to knock off a 0 or move the decimal place by 1 place to the left, however you like to say it. So this is equal to 2,500 So 10% of 2,500 is 250. 5% is half of this, because 5 is half of 10. So that is 125. 15% will be the combined amounts, so we'll add these as well. 0 and 5 makes 5, 5 and 2 makes 7, 2 and 1 makes 3. So that is £375. This chart shows the average monthly temperature of Sydney and Dubai. What's the difference in the average monthly temperature of Sydney and Dubai in July? So we're looking at the difference, which means taken away. So there is July. If we go to, that's the full line for Sydney, and the dotted line for Dubai. So for Dubai, this is 35. For Sydney, this is 10. So 35, take away 10. Question number 6. An aircraft passenger weighs his bag. He goes to the check-in desk and says that his bag weighs 14 grams. The person at the desk says this must be incorrect. Explain why. So for the explanation, we're going to say 14 grams is too small. So he means 14 kilograms. A parent wants a car seat for his child who is 36 months old. He needs a seat that is front-facing and uses a harness. He looks at this table. Which seat type should the parent buy? Explain your decision. So we'll look at child's age first. Child is 36 months old, which is equal to 3 years old. So that comes within this band. So we've got two types, toddler A and toddler B. Lie flat, we're not really fussed about that because we haven't got any information that tells us otherwise. Front facing, out of the two, we want it to be front facing, so toddler B, and uses harness as well, so it has to be toddler B. So which seat type? Toddler B. In terms of the explanation, I can say that it is suitable for a 36 months old child. It is forward facing and uses a harness. Dave and Sue are community centre workers. They share the opening of the centre each day. Their manager shares this work out between Dave and Sue in the ratio 3 to 1. She makes this rota for the first 16 days of the month. She needs to complete the rota for the next 5 days. Complete the rota. So we're given ratio, which is 3 to 1. 3 to 1. And 3 was for Dave and 1 for Sue. And it was the order that told us so. Dave came first and Sue came after. So we can see, looking at the parts 3 and 1, there is 4 parts in total, 4 units in total. But there are 16 days. So there's more than 4. To get from 4 to 16, we've multiplied by 4. So we must do the same with these units. So times 4. 3 times 4 gives us 12. So Dave will need to do 12 days in total. And so 1 times 4 gives us 4. She will need to do 4 days in total. Let's have a look at how many days Dave has been planned to do already. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he just needs to do 2 more days. Dave. In terms of Sue, she's only been planned for 1 already, so she needs to do 3 more days. And we've got 5 gaps in here to fill. So I'm just going to put Dave twice, and Sue 3 times. There is no specific order given to us, so we could put them in any order, as long as we keep 2 for Dave and 3 days for Sue. A workplace gives 1 raffle ticket to its workers for each sales target that they meet. Each month, 1 ticket is drawn at random for a prize. The chart shows the number of sales targets met by each worker. What's the probability that Jim will win the April draw? Complete the probability diagram below to show your answer. So looking at Jim, he's met the target 5 times. So working out the probability is 5 out of how many in total? So we've got 2 for Liz, we've got 7 for Emma, 6 for Mike. So adding all of these together gives us 20, which is 1/4 if we simplify, dividing them both by 5. So we'll show our answer here. From 0 to 1, this is 1/4. So that would be probability for Jim. Question 10. An inspector in a crisp factory measured the weight of crisps in 20 bags to check the accuracy of their weights. The bags were labelled average contents 25 grams. The table below shows the weight of the bags of crisps. Present these weights in 3 suitable groups. Make 1 comment about what the results show you. Looking at this data, we've got values ranging from about 20 to 26. So I will split them into 3 groups like this. from 24.0 to 25.0 to 25.9, from 26.0 to 26.9. So that should include all the different values. Let's have a look. Within the first group, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the second group, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Within the third group, we've got 1, 2. I'll make a table for this. Make a copy and paste. And adjust these other lines in the middle. But you get the idea. In terms of writing a comment about the results, we can see that most of the bags weigh 25.0 and above. So we've got 10 and the 2, 12, compared to the only 8 that weigh between 24.0 and 24.9. So we can say most of the crisp bags weigh 25.0 grams or more. A woman is training for a triathlon race, which includes a 1.5 kilometer swim. She needs her swim time to be 33 minutes. She trains in a swimming pool, which is 50 meters long. She needs to know the average time she must swim each length. What is this time? Show you're working. Okay, so we know that the total distance is 1.5 kilometers. And she's going to do them in 50-meter lengths. We know also that the total will take 33 minutes, so we'll find out how long each of the lengths will take. So we've got 1.5 kilometers, which is 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So 1.5 or 1.5 kilometers will be 1,500 meters. Now, how many 50s fit into 1,500? So 1,500 divided by 50, that makes 30. So 30 lengths. The whole duration is 33 minutes. Divide that by 30 lengths. That gives us 1.1 minute for each length. We've got to write this though in minutes and seconds. So we know there is a whole minute, but how many seconds? So there is 0.1 left after we take away the whole minute. So 1.1 take away 1 gives us 0.1. 0.1 of a minute. 1 minute has 60 seconds. So if we do this in the calculator, it's going to give us 6, which is again like 10% of a minute, 10% of 60 seconds. So 1 minute and 6 seconds. Question 12. A man wants to buy bags of gravel to cover his driveway. He decides to work out the area of his driveway. 1 bag of gravel covers 14 square meters. And we've got a sketch of driveway. What's the area of his driveway? How many bags of gravel must he buy? So we've got a compound shape. We're going to split it into 2 rectangles. So I'm going to split it here. You could split it the other way as well. So looking at the dimensions, we've got 3 meters by 6 meters for this rectangle. So that is 3 times 6 is 18 square meters. Then looking at the other rectangle, we've got this dimension which is 8 meters. And this one here, or this one, which is the same, must be equal to 3 meters, because up to this point it's 6. Take away the 3 that we're given, that means we're left with 3. So 3 times 8 is 24. So the total is 18 and 24. So 42 square meters. Now 1 bag covers 14. So we'll divide 42 by 14. And that gives us exactly 3. So area of driveway is 42 square meters. Number of bags, 3. Question 13. A football manager needs to pick his team for the next match. He gets some information on players in the team from previous matches. He needs to choose between 2 players based on their work rate. He measures their work rate using average and variation of the distance they covered. We've got player A and player B. Which player should the manager choose? Make 2 comments with reference to average distance and variation in distances. So for player A, we're going to add 7.2, 6.8, 7.6, 8.7, 7.4, 6.8, 8.0 all together. And that gives us 52.5. And then we'll divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to give us the mean, which is 7.5. So that's the average distance. That is for player A. We'll repeat the process for player B. So add in 7.9 and 7.3, 5.8, 7.6, 6.9. That is equal to 35.5 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which gives us 7.1 for player B. So the average is higher for player A. Now looking at variation or range. In terms of variation, looking at player A, the highest value that we've got is 8.7. Taking away the lowest value, which is 6.8 for them, that gives us 1.9. Whereas for player B, the highest value is 7.9, the lowest is 5.8, so the difference is 2.1. So the manager should choose player A. Comment about average. Player A has a higher average at 7.5 kilometers. Comment about variation. Player A is more consistent with a variation of 1.9. Question 14. A father and his child want to take self-defense lessons at a karate club for a year. The club offers lessons for members and non-members. The club holds one lesson per week. Everyone who comes to lessons must buy a uniform and take out insurance for the year. The father and child can only go to half of the lessons for the year. We've got the price list. He needs to decide whether to take lessons as members or non-members. What should he decide to do? Explain your answer using figures. Let's have a look at both options. They need to go for 1 year. So we've got the membership one. So for members, adult 20 per month. So we'll do 12 times 20. And for the child, 12 times 16. It's 432. We also need to add insurance, which is £15 per year, but for both of them it's going to be £30. And uniform, which is £95, and there is a 20% discount. So £95 and 95 for both of them is 190. %10 of 190 is 19, and another 10% to make 20%, so that makes 38. If 38 from 190, that is going to give us 152. So that's the amount to be paid for the uniform, on top of the 432, so which is the membership fee. Adding these together, 2 and 2 gives us 4, 3 and 3 is 6, and the 5 is 11. 1 carried over, 5, 6, £614 for members. Now looking at non-members, it says £8.50 per lesson, all ages. So £8.50 times 2 for both of them is £17. This is for one lesson, but how many lessons in total? So if we go up a bit, the club holds one lesson per week, but the father and the child can only go to half of the lessons for the year. So there are 52 weeks. We're going to divide it by 2 to get half. So that is 26 lessons. Each lesson £17 for both. So we'll do 26 times 17, which is £442. We'll need to add to the 442 the insurance per year, which is £30 for both, and also the uniform, but the full price of the uniform, because there is no discount for non-members. So 95 and 95 is 190. Now adding all of these together makes £662. So comparing 662 with the 614, 614 is cheaper. So decision to go for member, explanation, it works out to be cheaper at £614. Final question. The owner of a trampoline park has the floor plan. She wants to put 4 trampolines in zone 3. She needs a scale diagram to see where the trampolines will go. Each trampoline measures 3 meters by 1.8 meters. She wants them placed with 2 lines of symmetry in zone 3. Complete the plan below to show the positions of the trampolines. Draw the 2 lines of symmetry. So we want them 4 to be in zone 3. We go to zone 3. We also told that each of these squares measures 1 meter by 1 meter. That's the dimensions given. We've got the scale here. And we also told that each trampoline measures 3 meters by 1.8, and we need to have 2 lines of symmetry in here. So we'll start with one of them. Three meters by 1.8. We'll copy this and paste and put it on the other side, so leaving a 1 meter gap each side because I left it here. So if I put a line of symmetry in the middle, that would work. So we need 4 So I'm going to repeat this process now here on the other side, again leaving the same gap. It looks like there will be two lines of symmetry. So this side is mirrored over here and this side is mirrored down here. We'll need to add the lines of symmetry as well. And so this would be right in the middle, equal distance between the line and the two trampolines on the left and those two on the right. This is just one way of arranging them. There will be other ways of doing it. So trampoline 1, trampoline 2, trampoline 3, and trampoline 4. And if we check against the question, we've met all criteria. And this is the end of the section or the paper.